Welcome to my channel, World of Forensics. Today we are going to discuss about physical evidences. Introduction. So, what is the evidence? So, evidence is anything that proves or disputes any point which is under investigation. And physical evidence is anything that has physical or material quality, which can be any object, living or inanimate, solid, liquid, or gas. All have some physical or material quality are included under physical evidence. Sources of physical evidences. So, at a crime scene, there can be various sources of physical evidences, which includes the scene of the crime, which is the basic source of physical evidence, then the victim, the person may be alive or dead, that can be a source of physical evidences, and also the suspect and his environment, which, like, the person who had committed the crime has come from a place and some evidences he may have collected from where he have come from and left that on the victim or at the scene of crime, which leads to the physical evidences at the scene of crime. Now, the type of physical evidences. The physical evidences are of diverse types, which includes blood, semen, and other pathological fluids like the suspected blood, semen, other liquids that are found at the crime scene. All are included under this physiopathological fluids until it is discovered what the liquid or dried sample is. We can't conclude that whether it is from any person or from other animals. Then comes the fingerprints. At crime scene, there may be presence of chance prints which are left by the criminal, and it helps to identify the criminal and establish relationship why that crime was committed. Then the footprints. This may also be present, like it can be the bare footprints or the prints of the shoe that the person was wearing, and gives information about the number of suspects who had entered the crime scene. The and also like the shoe prints give an idea about the what number of shoe it was, which also later helps to establish the suspect to the scene and later leads to conclusion. Teeth marks. It may be present on the body of the victim, and the teeth basically we chew our foods. Sometimes the teeth can contain the fruits and other food that the person has consumed, like the suspect. Then this can be present on the at scene of crime, or if the person has eaten anything at the crime scene, then that fruit or other thing may contain the marks, teeth marks of the suspect. Impressions. This can be the tire marks or track marks, which can help to identify possibly the vehicle, the speed of the vehicle. Then comes the documents. The documents include both printed and handwritten documents. We can also found chart documents at the crime scene. After that, to hide something, the person burns the document and the chart part of the documents are left. This can also help. Drugs. It includes powder, pill, capsule, vial, which can be found and seized in cases of poisoning or trafficking cases. Violation of laws regulating sale, manufacture, distribution of these drugs had place. Explosives. Any device which contain an explosive substance can be removed from the scene of explosion that is suspected to contain the residue of the explosives at scene, which they should be removed with utmost care, or it may be destroyed, or again, burst can happen at the scene. Fibers or fabrics. Fibers are both natural and synthetic. This can be transferred from a person to person, or it can be found at any other objects that are lying at the place of crime, because fibers are very small threads, and after examination it will help to identify the particular requirement. Firearms and ammunition, which includes both firearm as well as bullets, shell, wads, and pellets, which may be found at the crime scene where possibly there was use of firearms and not in other cases. Glass. Okay, any glass particle or fragment may be found. This glass may be any glass items or from the glass of the windows. Uh, if a vehicle or a person hits the glass and then enters, then the glass will be scattered around. And when bullets are fired from the opposite side of the glass, it makes a special type of fracture on the glass. Here, here is a easily found thing at the crime scene, because all the person contains hair. Also, any animal present can be detected from the hair found. Viscera. Body organs and fluids are submitted for toxicological examination, basically in case of drugs or poisoning cases. Paint. We can found any paint, liquid in dried form, from the surface of one object to another during commission of the crime. Petroleum products, which includes petrol, kerosene, diesel, grease, thinners on the body of the victim's clothes at the crime scene, can be identified. Uh, these petroleum products are found basically in arson cases. Stains and power residue. Chemical stains or cosmetic stains on person's clothing and also on the suspect's clothing can be identified. Firearm discharge residues are also found on the clothing, uh, because in case of firing, the gunpowder residue may be found on the clothing. Soil and minerals. All items containing soil and minerals can be examined to link a person to an object and also a person to a place. Basically, soil is found in the outdoor crime scenes. Indoor, we may not find, which it can be found. It can be left by the suspect when he or she and person entered the crime scene. From the shoes, then comes the tool marks. Any object suspected contain the impression of another object, which can be established to a tool mark in the crime scene. Wires and cables. Wires and cables, transaction wires, electric cables found in possession of suspect can be linked to the source from where it was. In case of strangulation, we can also find sometimes strangulation are done using cables. Then the person's impression on the neck can be established along compared with the cable and found that this cable was used. Up, when we can examine the cable, obviously body cells will be found on the cable. If it is not if it is not washed, it is very chance to get the body cells on that. Pollens are also important source of physical evidences to link a person to the place and also the suspect. When a crime is committed at one place and there was lot of flowers, means a garden or some place, and the body was shifted from one place to the another. And when it is shifted, we can the body or the clothes of the victim may get some pollen grains or from the grass, from the flowers. Then after examining spoilens or the parts that gets attached to the garments fro- and found that the body where it is found, this species are do not belong to that place, then we can say that the crime was committed in some other place and the body was shifted to a different place. Then we can find that these types of pollen grains and of flowers or grass components are found in that place after a different one. Then we find that and link that the crime was not committed here and was committed to a different place. Like this, there are various evidences, and all this belongs to physical evidence. The importance of physical evidences. So, the physical evidences helps to give a successful conclusion on the examination, as it helps to establish that a crime has been committed or prove a link between the crime, victim, and the crime scene, which is very important to establish a crime. Now, it can help the investigating officers to get the laboratory examinations of the physical evidences, and we can summarize it like the physical evidences can establish corpus delicti, that is to establish a crime as has actually been committed. Physical evidences can link the suspect with the victim or with the crime scene. Physical evidences establish the identity of persons involved in the crime. This can be done by the bite marks from the size of the shoes, gait pattern, which are found at the crime scene. Physical evidence can corroborate the victim's testimony if the victim is alive today. A suspect confronted with physical evidences may admit his guilt because persons have to admit, or then why his evidence are found at the scene. It proves only that the person was present. Physical evidence is factual and hence more reliable than eyewitness. Obviously, because from this physical evidences established that the person or this was there at the crimes, but the eyewitness may give us wrong information also. The physical evidences has been recognized in the court of law also. The physical evidences at times the only evidence in absence of direct or other circumstantial evidences. In that cases, the physical evidences are the only evidences of the crime. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos on forensic science.